Space Coconut.
Okay, I've put this off long enough and many people have been asking me to update this thing since her buff. Thankfully, the majority of the information in the previous guide is still relevant, and only a few things changed. So let's talk about how the changes in perks affected how I personally play the Hag. You know that I don't like Hex perks, and for the longest time I used Knockout to slow the game down. This perk is good in the right situation, but with the prevalence of Survive with Friends groups, Unbreakable, and map design, it really isn't very reliable in a lot of situations. When Sloppy Butcher was changed to have a built-in mangled effect, I immediately knew that it would be more reliable than Knockout, even if it didn't have as strong of an effect when it worked. Hitting any survivor slows their healing by 25%. While this is a minor inconvenience in most situations, over the course of a match, this is increasing their heal time, and also increases the time you have to set up traps, travel to another area, or even locate the survivor with nurses calling and monitor and abuse. Just by having that extra time to make up for the Hag's slow movement makes a bigger difference than you would think, even though it's not directly noticeable. After swapping Knockout for Sloppy Butcher, I found myself at higher ranks consistently running into survivors healing under hooks, or just trying to get finished before I got to them. They would finish healing right in front of me, and I'd be in a chase with a fully healed survivor. Also, sometimes if someone was down, they could be brought back up very quickly during a chase, setting me back again. At the same time, I noticed that Make Your Choice became less impactful at higher ranks. Less survivors are triggering traps at hooks during saves, the exposed survivors go into stealth mode more often, and sometimes there are more than one rescuer, making it difficult to find the exposed survivor. All of these things combined made Make Your Choice less powerful than it is at lower ranks. This is when I gave Coulrophobia a try. I swapped out Make Your Choice for it, and I actually have a video up of the first time I tried this out, and it countered most of the situations that I mentioned before. I thought it was just a one-time thing, but every time Make Your Choice let me down, I kept thinking about giving it another try. Then I did. After its consistent success, I've went ahead and made this loadout my primary setup. I'll make an in-depth video talking about Coulrophobia later, and honestly trying to figure out why it works, even with the Hag's tiny terror radius. The biggest change that came for the Hag was her trap speed increase. While the trap section of the original guide is still valid, the speed increase made it possible to trap during chases. With this, I ended up placing traps in more travel paths and loops, instead of areas that use the camera flick. This placing pattern allows me to play more aggressively, relying on the instant teleport hit to hopefully create a greater sense of fear for survivors during a chase as the match goes on. It should be noted that with the new setting speed, some smarter survivors are running away when you place a trap at a loop or a pallet. If they continue to do this, you can fake a placement to juke them out of the loop and not lose as much distance as you would by finishing the trap. I personally have found a lot of enjoyment by denying loops and pallets. Not only this, I found it to be quite effective at catching survivors who jump back towards me. It's also opened up a lot more opportunities to be an aggressive killer, which is a very fun and different experience than playing a chasing killer. Unfortunately, I don't play as much nurse as I should, so I can't actually say how the two compare now, but I think it's very possible that they're on equal ground when considering they have different playstyles. The Hag is a very strategic killer, and there isn't just one strategy that will work. If you have a setup that works for you, perfect it. But this is how my playstyle changed since her buff, and of course, it's only my own playstyle. If you're interested in hearing other playstyles or tactics, I encourage you to join the Hagger's Den Discord channel and ask a few questions. You can even ask me questions in the comment section of my videos, and I'll do my best to answer them, or even do a video if the same question is asked enough. I'll do my best to keep making interesting content for you guys, and I'll also try to give you a heads up if I'm doing something different in the next video. Thanks again for supporting this channel. In the meantime, take care. Yeah. No GGs, huh?